Dune Awakening. Let's take a quick first look at this multiplayer survival game based in the Dune universe. I got access to the beta test over the recent weekend. I think it was over the 10th, 11th and 12th of May. But I only had access on the Sunday, so I didn't get too much time to play. Anyway, like most games, you get to create your character. Yeah, a load of different settings here you can play around with if you really want to. But as it was just a beta test, I just kind of quickly went through it. And this is the amazing guy I ended up with. Obviously you get to choose your name as well. And then you get to choose whether or not to do a tutorial. So if you've done the game before, you can actually skip that bit and just get straight into the game.
They told you what I am? Then I will sift your words for lies.
So this is part of the character creation as well. You get to choose, your starting planet. These add a few different traits to you.
A world
an emote,
of water,
amazingly.
Homeworld of the Atreides. The order of the Imperium is rooted in the Farfaluches. A place for every man, and every man in his place. Where is your place? Did you give bad advice, or make a bad deal? To be close to power is to walk the knife's edge. You had a mentor in your youth, trained by one of the schools. Who was your mentor?
So first you get to choose your kind of class in society, and then you get to choose the actual class you want to go with.
Yes, I have heard of our sisters giving training outside of the chapter house. It is frowned upon. The test is almost complete. Have you spoken truth? Come here. Kneel.
I skipped a load of the story there. I don't want to give anything away for people who actually want to play the game. Yeah, after creating your character, you start off here on the planet. And it's just a tutorial to start with. You get taught how to move around and do basic stuff, pick up a weapon, use a weapon and so on. So we'll have a quick look at this. I think this is going to be one of the best uses of Unreal 5's nanites so far I've seen. It actually looks like it's taken right out of an Unreal 5 demo. But yeah, this does come with a cost, which I'll quickly talk about in a bit. And yeah, that cost is low FPS, unless you use frame generation and obviously upscaling along to go with that. Now I've got a pretty decent system, an AMD 7900 XTX and a 7800 X3D, but I was having issues and I had to use frame gen. And I guess that's one of the first letdowns of the game as well. You jump into a game like this, there's been quite a lot of hype around it, you want to get in and play and have a good time, but then you realise even with high-end hardware you're going to have some issues running this game. But the use of Lumen and Nanite does look nice here, and I guess that is the downfall of my AMD system at the moment, because Lumen is ray tracing, so it just tends to have a big hit on the AMD cards. As you progress through this tutorial section, it introduces you to different things. Here we've just picked up a bag so we can start our crafting off. We just build our first kind of melee weapon here. You just need a certain type of material to be able to build it, and then you just hold down space. And this is similar with other items when you get into the crafting of the game. And later on, when you build bases and so on, you can have machines and stuff like that inside your base to build items. An inventory system is pretty straightforward. You got the loadout, which bound to numbers, so you can place different things into the different slots there, and just press the number to use it. And obviously you got your armor and equipment on the right hand side. Left hand side is just your inventory. Now we get to see a bit what the amazing combat system is like. Yeah, honestly, I'm not sure how they got from a game like Conan Exiles to this. But there we go. We'll get to see a bit more of that later. And of course, this is a survival game as well, so you need water to stay hydrated. You can use these to give yourself a basic amount of hydration, but you can only have so much of this. You see it's gone up like a kind of quarter way on the bar on the left hand side. But to get any higher than that, you're going to need to find yourself a real water source. You also get your mining tool in the tutorial. You just scan the rocks with right mouse and then left click to cut the line, and then the rock will explode. You'll get resources from that in the open world. But yeah, it's quite nice. This just adds something slightly different to the game instead of hitting rocks with a pickaxe. The basic combat, or the basic melee combat anyway, you know, consists of blocking and then slashing.
Parry your opponents just as their strikes will hit you. This should stagger them, giving you a window of opportunity.
And yeah, that's what you got to do. You stagger them so you can open up an attack on them. And this guy vanishes into the wall, but you know, it is a beta test, so you expect little issues like this. He is still alive, he just jumps out. Yeah, to tell you the truth, I am kind of a bit disappointed with the melee system in this game. It's just very basic compared to their last game. But saying that, there is a class that specialises in melee combat, so it might be a bit better if you go down that route. But yeah, standard class melee seems a bit basic. I've just jumped past the rest of the tutorial here, and now you've just landed into the real world, or at least the starting area anyway. And yeah, a worm's going to come and eat your ornithopter. Well, looks pretty cool. But it doesn't seem to leave any kind of mark on the sand after it's gone back down, which is kind of disappointing, really. See, it's just like nothing's happened. You'll find like areas like this around the world where there's enemies inside. I just wanted to quickly show the kind of the ranged combat. It's a lot better than the melee, that's for sure. Still quite basic though, you know, it's nothing amazing. But yeah, in these areas you'll find resources that you can gather. You can obviously loot the people you kill. And like any other survival game, you need resources to be able to build everything you need. Yeah, you see these guys drop ammo, which you can use for your main, well, the gun I built anyway. I guess there's different types of ammo as you get later into the game. And then you find kind of boxes like this that have some rare loot in. In the starting area, it all seems to be kind of working towards yourself building your first base and then getting established here. Once you've got your base, you can start building other items within the base. You get storage and everything else you'd expect from a survival game. But yeah, I didn't really get much further than this. I only got access on the Sunday night, I think it was. So I didn't get too much time to play with work the next day. But yeah, honestly, I just don't think this game's for me. The melee combat is not very good. The ranged combat is pretty average. And from what I've read, there's not going to be much PvP in the game. There's going to be a PvP area when you get into the main game, but it's not what you usually get in a survival game. I think this is geared more towards, definitely more towards the PvE side of things. And that's fine for people who enjoy that, but I like my PvP. Now, I guess if a big group of my mates pick it up, I may take a look as well, just to play it with them. But yeah, at the moment, it's not looking good. But yeah, that's my quick first look at Dune Awakening. It's not for me, I don't think, and I'm not sure if I'll go back to it, but we'll have to wait and see. See you in the next video, everyone.